Mr. Hite here, your favorite scientist. And whoa, don't worry, I'm not in the river. I'm standing on a rock. So I'm not in the river. So I'm safe. I'm okay. But yeah, pretty cool behind me. Hey, we're talking about resources. So what kind of natural resources do you see behind me? Can you identify any natural resources? And can we use any of these resources for energy, things that we might use as energy sources or other types of sources? So take a minute and think about what's behind me and what kind of resources those items appear to be. Cool. So actually today I'm going to give you a little tutorial on our build a city model. It's a virtual lab. It's kind of cool. You'll be able to build like a city and using some different resources, you can see how to power that city. And if the way you build it, is it going to generate enough energy for the city to use? And you'll see, well, what types of resources are we using? Are we using renewable or non-renewable? So that'll be our good question. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I'll bring up the site. Here it is, our resources on Earth site. Very good. And one thing to make sure you do first is there's on the side here, what are the advantages of alternative energy sources? That's some really good content building. So make sure you read through um, this piece here, this text. Lots of good things about renewable, non-renewable resources. So really good things. You can jot some notes down, some important notes to help you remember and have a discussion. There's also some vocabulary as well that you can note. And then there is a procedure right here for this virtual lab. But I'm going to go ahead and actually run through it so you can actually see it and see how to do it. Again, you should have your science notebook out to take notes and things like that. Also, you should have a recording sheet for your cities that you build and test out. And that might be through a Nearpod, or your teacher might have given you a page to put in your science notebook, or you could make the table in your science notebook. But here we go. So one thing you definitely want to do before you start building your city, go ahead and go to the, when you go to the reference tool, you'll see the different types of energy. I would definitely read through these first and a little bit more understanding of the types of energy that you could use to power your city. I would definitely do the first four. I wouldn't really mess with biomass. That's not one we're really going to go into. I would definitely just focus on solar, wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal. And you can go back to those at any time while you're doing this virtual lab. So that piece is there for you. And you can see the different components. Here's the meters down here, which are very important because these meters will tell us how did we do when we built our city. So the first one is expense, like money. So we want to make sure our energy source, whatever we're using, doesn't cost a lot. So it's not costing the people that live in the city a lot of money. At the same time, we want to make sure our energy output is very high. So we want to make sure the city is able to get enough power using our resource. So we want to keep our expense low and our energy output as high as possible. So I'm going to go through each one of these. I'm just going to kind of make one up. You're going to go through this. I would, in your science notebook, maybe brainstorm what you want to do. Maybe draw a picture um, before you plug in your features for your city. And you're going to do it 3 times. So you're going to see which one was the best. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to energy sources. I'll just click on the first one. You have solar, wind, hydroelectric, geothermal, biomass. Remember, we're not going to really mess with biomass. Maybe if you have time, you can see what that's about. But let's definitely stay with these four. So I'm going to hit solar energy and the type of day. So let's say we have some clouds today. So I'm going to put cloudy. And winds, not many winds. So you have high, medium, low. I'm going to put just low gust. the west winds here. Topography is like land features. So what type of land features do we have? So you can have river that can be dammed, small stream, or non-moving lake water. Let's put a lake in there. That's always nice. And if you remember back from rock and roll, you should know that word magma from rock and roll. So do we have magma close to the surface, like you can see here, or magma away from the surface, so deeper in the earth, or no magma? Let's not put any magma right now. And then the last one here is forest and farmland. So if you want to add that feature, you can, or you don't have to. So I'm going to click on that. I like farms and forests. That's pretty cool. So there's my city, and I'm going to hit the generate button here on my city. You can see there's my solar cells, my city, my lake, and the wind. Not much wind. I don't have any magma underground where I'm at. And once I hit generate, I'm going to look at these meters here and see what happened. And then I'm going to evaluate my city. How did I do? So let me hit that generate. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I did very well because as you could see, I'm spending a lot of money. So the folks in the city are having to pay a lot of money. But look at the energy. It's really low. So I'm not getting enough power to the city, but people are paying a lot of money. So that's not good. I'm going to have to go back and figure out how can I get more energy to my city and have it at least have a little less money that people have to spend on that. So that's very interesting. So make sure you record your findings and observations either in your science notebook or on the recording sheet lab. So I hit reset, and that brings me back to the very beginning. And then I can go back through this again. I can go through energy sources, and then I can make up a new city and see if I can do a little bit better. But that's what you're going to do. And remember, you can go back to the reference tool at any time. That will help you. So I hope you enjoy this virtual lab. It's really cool because this is something that's very big. This is a big concept. And the cool thing is we can study something on a huge scale in a simulator or model just like this. So we can do some studying and observations of something that's very big, but bring it down to a small scale. And that's what scientists do when they study things like this, or space, or something else that's very big. They use models and simulators all the time. So I hope you enjoy your simulator and really think about how can we get the most energy to our people in the city here without them spending too much money. All right, guys. So I share my screen. This is Mr. Height here, and I'm still in the river. I might go kayaking for a little bit. So I'll see you next time.